Some bleeding wind out there. Gives the 5x5 if everything's clear. I have to go down and put stuff around the bleeding bottom of the trampoline to stop it blowing off. So, what did we have happen today? Well, so Mr. Thomas Harris has been out already, thanking all emergency and frontline workers responding to Storm Ashley. I obviously wasn't paying enough attention because I didn't even know this storm was coming. It's still causing havoc in parts of the country. Listen to the advice and stay safe, he said. Well, Hamas Harris wants you to be safe in the storm. Has it been like advertised a lot that it was coming? I need to fucking sort my shit out because I didn't even hear anything. Let's see. This is starting. Ben O'Wine. Check this out. Share presence. I'll get faster at doing this the more. Yeah, where's this again? Some European country, and anyway. Stop. Just bit me top. Dog just bit me top. Yeah, he does post up some videos of all this, the boatloads and the bus loads across Europe. Of course, a lot of it is just people trying to call out certain things. Once a post like this goes up, Starmer. God, does my head in. Yeah, what a bookmark there. Sure, people seen this one before. This was in Italy. I shared this one. Must be about a year ago now, or just under a year ago. Of Italy. Now it's the people around there that it just blows my mind. The reaction of these people around her. I mean, like, help the woman.
Jefe, llama a la policía.
Oh, hang on, is that Italian or Spanish? Another example of what the European countries are letting in. Madness. We crossed into Italy from Libya in 2014. It's got barbecue on a dog. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I've seen them. I've seen videos of them roasting people's cats. I think it was either Greece or Italy, and they were roasting people's cats just in the street openly. Mad. Yes, there's like a woman that needs to be invented. Oh. Did you see this this clip here of the Glencar waterfall blowing backwards? I don't know if you can make it out there, but the wind has it blown back over the land. That's quite cool. Let's see what people say there. Yes. And build it in probably Greece across from the agency into Samos. That's it. Like they must, there's that many, they must have a certain route that they all go. Like I know Calais in France would be part of that route for sure. You see so much coming out of Calais. Marseille, I've seen Marseille lately, and that's just Marseille's just gone. Good chunks of France are just gone. And he's now John Kerry. I've talked about him a few times. That's his daughter there. I don't know if she's going around saying that billions of us must unalive for the new world order. I don't know about that, but one thing I will say that remember I was telling you about the collarbones. There you have it again. The old straight collarbones. Like male or female. John Kerry's daughter. Oh yeah. I mean it's a big part of why they're all so passionate about like actually Paul, now that you said that, I did have this bookmarked. Is this a Shinner? I think it is, but this is how passionate he is.
I hope that Benjamin Netanyahu burns in hell to see away them children and their families burned. I hope him and his generals and the far-right government in Israel that when their God finally brings him to the resting place, that he deserves to burn in hell. Because what is happening now, not alone is it apartheid, not alone is it atrocity and a war crime, it's just horrific. It's just horrific what they're doing. Where is their soul? Where is the soul of the Israeli people that allows their government to do this to children? Where is their humanity? The Israeli people, the Jewish people, after everything the Jewish people have suffered down over the decades, that they would allow their government to do this to other human beings.
Yeah, now feel like that, have that passion about Ireland, please. You know, that's what I'd be saying. I'm sick of saying it. Like charity starts at home. Sick of saying it. So yeah, it's quite and the music makes it sound a bit more passionate. It might do, but I mean, be like that about Ireland. You know, that's what we want. That's why you're in there. Is the people want that from you? El Britain gets stuck with this guy again. Some funny videos on it. Yeah. I can't find it.
And just try and whack it. Yes, this is good. And again. That's it. And again. Try and breathe. Relax.
I'd imagine that's what. You'd imagine Hamas Harris would look even weaker if he did something like that, wouldn't he? If the bag would even move. Hey, Johnny. Welcome. Just doing the usual. If someone says something in the comments that I meant to go over, because I did have a few things written out that I wanted to cover. Bookmarks is always a good starting spot. More no, it's very loud, that, isn't it? I should have that set at it. Just stay there now. So whenever I open the video. It's in Bradford. Bradford is not a real place. I was saying to myself, when I seen him on it, it's obviously he was going around on that bike, and to prevent them from cycling off on him, he's apprehended it. But just the comical scene that it makes for it, you know, what a sort of vision of the police, the Metropolitan Police or British Police, whatever you want to call them.
What the fuck?
That was a bit funny. Hey, Kieran, what's up, man? Some bleeding wind. Some wind out there. I'm sure I'll come across something. This is dodgy. Check this one. What city was this again? I wish these buggers would put what city this is in. Seems like Germany.
This is my girlfriend. No.
Like the young ones shouldn't have to be putting up with this. Do you know? Out on a day out shopping with their friends, shouldn't have to put up with these guys coming up to them like this.
This is my girlfriend. No.
Dodgy. Red flag, red flag. I don't like it. I usually bookmark a few videos that are like that first. Jesus, Kamala. Back to Ireland. The Gardaí have closed off Dollymount Woodens Bridge this afternoon in the interest of public safety. Like that's how high it's making them waves there. Yeah. It's a bit fierce, all right. Turned into the bleeding weatherman and all doing these videos, huh? Yeah, be careful. Be careful out there. What'd you say that, Elon? What'd you say about Elon giving out bushies? Was there something on the Twitter this show? He's gone like 100% Trump. Like it's just all about Trump. Democrats are bringing in illegals deliberately, he says.
Because what I see happening is that the Dem administration is bringing in vast numbers of illegals deliberately into swing states. The numbers, if you say like over the past 3.5 years, I think it's like there's like a 500% increase in illegals in swing states. What a coincidence! Now, when you look at margins of victory that may be 10, 20,000 votes, and then you bring in 200,000 illegals and you legalize them, which is exactly what the
Frank.
Kamala puppet regime will do over the next 4 years, then you won't have any swing states. Every state will go blue, and at that, and then we don't have a democracy. We will be a single party state, and they're doing it in Pennsylvania, big time. So that's why I think if Trump is not elected, I think this is the last election where we have a two-party state, and yeah.
So yeah, he's gone all in with Trump, I suppose. By the sounds of it. What people saying in the chat? Hang on. Curious to know what your woman, who was walking in Dublin Airport today with Canada Wendy with the walking stick and bucket was allowed entry into the. Yeah, I've seen a few videos of her. Now that one was actually taken. The one I shared. I'll bring her up. Stop. I'd let them out, but like they run straight back in with the wind, you know. The Wakanda Wendy, I like that. Here I can share this. I can share this screen here. On. There she is. Stop sharing. Share this one. So yeah, so people don't know who Ira 1014 is referring to. It's this lady.
Back and take care of this land. You get ready. And the ones in the beginning going to be in end. The end is here. I am messenger from I. It's not about money. Every fucking person I have to send. But you bitches can listen.
You need to go home. This is Ireland. You're in the wrong country, pal.
We're going to show you how
I'll show you now in a minute.
You're Illuminati. You're not illuminated. We are the illuminated. This is the honor of galaxies and planets. And
Guardians of what'd she say? Galaxies and planets or something like that. But like she says other strange things like lizard overlords and reptilian overlords. She talks about that. Let's see if we can catch that.
Oh, this fucking wrong. Huge draconian reptilian plebeian insectoids.
There you go. Huge draconian reptilian insectoids, she says. Now, this woman is being caught on camera numerous times. At least 3 or 4 times in Dublin city centre in any way. And usually she has the stick, like Ira said. She usually has a stick and she's doing like these. I do think she's doing something like voodoo, you know, the way they're all into like voodoo and stuff. And voodoo is a religion to people. So I suppose that's what empowers them to go out and just do it openly. But yeah, she talked about some really strange things.
Motherfucking whoever the fuck you click, hiding on the ground, sending the so-called white people to go fetch so they can continue.
She says that they're hiding underground.
Somebody like
have you got a passport?
That's what I love about the Irish. If you got a passport, just plain simple question. And I was like, I know that voice. The way she asked that question, I was like, I know that voice. So when I got back into my area, I went to the person who I thought it was, and sure enough, it was her that recorded it. And it was like 7 months. This was like 6-7 months ago. You know, I just never seen her out. This is at the Artane roundabout in D5, like where if you have watched one or two of my lives, you have walked up that road with me, going up to the bank or whatever. But yeah, she says some interesting things, doesn't she?
Have you got any documentation?
We are surrounded. We are what kind of species? Our spaceship is in the air. We are surrounded. Welcome to your new world order. We are the world order. We'll be running shit around here from now on.
And that this video was only up literally 20 minutes, and when I went back in to look at it, because like it's already garnered 2.5K views. Now, one of the quicker ones, I think it's still ranked number one in the top 10 breakdown they give you of your videos. They put this up. Can you look in at that? Look, they put a tag on it like a fact checker, and it says New World Order. Now you could say they mentioned it because I titled the video with it, or the fact that she's talking about it, but it's probably tied into. I wonder, actually, I must test that and not put it in the title, but it says Wikipedia. So YouTube is sourcing Wikipedia, and it says the New World Order is a term used in several conspiracy theories which hypothesize a secretly emerging totalitarian world government, which is, that's exactly what it is. It's a totalitarian world government. What's the big deal? Why'd you have to like remind us? We know. What's up? Oh, hang on. Chat's going a little bit quick. The gypsy with a tube up our nose. I watched the video. No, I didn't see that one, Luke. Yeah, Frank. Many of us have thought she could just have a mental problem. But you know, for the amount of times that I've seen her being caught on camera, you know, you think something like, because it affects people when they're out on the street and they walk by, like something simple as that, you know, would affect people, intimidate people. So it should be dealt with like just about a shit bucket. So I don't know what the bucket was for. You know, maybe washing the windows on cars or something, because there's like 4 sets of traffic lights there. There's William here. Nice. Welcome, William. How's it going, Jerry? Nice to have you. If that was an Irish person now screaming at public causing nuisance, the cuffs and on, the mental health assessed done by the Garda. Yep. 100%. Yeah, Paddy, that thing with Wikipedia, it can be, yeah, you're right. But there are certain pages that are locked. Like whose was it recently? P. Diddy's recently, actually. There you go. Someone linked in with P. Diddy because I was testing it, and he was seeing this girl called Young Miami. I think it's Young Miami, like Y-U-N-G, because she looks a little bit Asian. She's like just Blackanese, I suppose you would say, and she was with him for like 6 years, so knew for a fact that she knew what was going on, and you could still edit her wiki. So I edited something on our wiki and dropped the name Epstein in, you know, just to give people a little something to refer back to. And then went back the next day, and that was locked. So they're locking certain wiki pages once they're like, hey, these people are out here editing this for themselves and they're showing a bit too much. I think, you know, if you could be more clever with words, you could get around a lot on the edit of wiki. But yeah, some pages are locked because they just, nope, you're not allowed to edit that. And imagine it's a good few things that they don't want us going off ourselves and trying to find out what it's all about, you know. But yeah, right. like that AI bot I was talking about, where they just let it run wild and let it be informed by different parts of the world. And it came back, and the thing was one of the most racist, fascist things, outlooks about the world you can imagine. What else do they have on that? Just sharing that. Yeah, God knows what the bucket was for. Maybe out there working for Herman. Huh? There's no talking about P. Diddy actually. Here you go. I'll get faster at doing this one day. Because I can't hold multiple ones of these open. You can only share a present page. But Chrissy Teigen, right? So this shadow of Ezra, I've been following this page for a couple of months. Showing you really the dark underbelly of the celebrities. But Hollywood's most notorious Peter-foil couple, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, remain notably silent when asked for their opinions about Diddy. Watch how both of them run away after questioning about Diddy. Remember that, Sean?
John, can I get a picture? John, you were. Oh yeah, ready? John, you were one of the only to speak out against this Diddy thing. What's your take now? Can I get one?
Chrissy was gone. Chrissy looked straight away. She was like, right, that's enough. In for some drinks. No talking about. None of them will talk candidly or openly out here about any of this stuff now. They'd rather just erase the name of Mr. Sean Diddy Combs. They'd rather he just be gone. But this woman and this John Legend, I've done a video on him. He came out and he talked about remember Mr. Trump said they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Well, I think it was either the next day, within 48 hours, Mr. John Legend here in the middle came out and did a video. And in it he was stating, he was trying to say, like, the population there, that's where he's from. He's actually from Springfield, Ohio. And to not let, like, basically the orange man divide you even more, he started trying to break it down, like, into statistics, as in, like, it was a place of 75,000 and the workforce dropped down to like 55 because loads emigrated. And the ones that are coming in are simply being brought in, and that they must, up the workflow for them, instead of rejecting all these people, they should be brought in and used to build back up the area. But John Legend won't tell you that thing that Mr. Trump told you, which was they're eating the cats and they're eating the dogs. It's not going to tell you that. And there's more and more videos coming out of local people who are in that area in Ohio talking about this, talking about how they're going around in vans and they're stealing people's cats. Not only that, these two are quite vile people, in my opinion, because Miss Teigen, let me go back here. Miss Teigen here. Back in the earlier days of Twitter, they were all these celebrities used Twitter to just flaunt. And when you hear of some of the tweets and you tell people about these tweets, they say, they're making a laugh and a joke about it. But the things they were talking about, like two in particular, talked about microwaving really young individuals, right? How long would it take to microwave them? Two people. This one here, this Chrissy Teigen one, She tweeted that out. And the other one was Courtney Cox from Friends, Crazy Monica, you know, the clean freak. She tweeted that as well. So these people are like, Hollywood's just vile. It's a cesspit. And these two are up there. When he first came out, do you remember his tune? That All of Me? It was All of Me. I listened to it a good few times, but then when I found out what they really are, I was nope. Gone from the music list. This is All of Me loves all is due, says Hugh. Hey, YouTube's gay, what's up, man? Hugh, I've seen as well, like, it's very hard, and I didn't, like I usually do, you know, store on me separate hard drive and videos that, you know, I want to keep. Hang on, I'm just going to plug this laptop in, it's going to go dead. But there was a video of her. I'm not sure who caught it. I think it was like one of our makeup artists or something. If I ever come across it, I'll save it again. It's just after the time that she was really being questioned about why she was putting these absolutely vile tweets out, you know, and it's him, and he's walking through the backyard, and there's like a small cabin out the back, and he walks into it, and she's sitting on the far side of the room in a chair, and she's just screaming, but it's like a real demonic scream, you know. And I was like, fucking hell, geez, the thing's possessed. That sort of evil is fucking real. Oh, and yeah, he popped up, didn't he, the other day? Oh, yeah. I don't know why, like, they do, like, what is this, like? It's not having, like, dressing normally. I'm sure that wasn't the only reason I bookmarked that one, but yeah, there was this one here I found a bit interesting. Usher, bleeding Usher, of all people. Now, do you know why I think as well? You're seeing so many of them. I know this is a lot of focus on the American side of things, but you know, I think why there's so many celebs, would you say higher earning celebs out there now pushing for Kamala Harris? Yeah, Lizzo as well. But there's so many of them, and so many of them are tied into Diddy. I think what's happened there is the FBI have went, we have you on tape, get out there and promote Kamala Harris, do what you have to do. I'm sure they would do a lot more if they could, but they have to play it. It's a game, you know, it's a game to them. So, I mean, how could I best describe it? Be like Usher here, coming out and say, get out there and fucking vote, you know, get really in your face about it. If he could, because that's what he's told to do. If he could, he would. But they have to, like, just play it cool. But these people are all compromised. They say with Usher it might be more of a case that he was a victim because he was really young when it happened to him and stuff like that. But for how many years did he go along with it? And then he passed. He just continued the cycle by passing Justin Bieber onto him. You know, he just continued the cycle. Yeah, people would say, well, he's not going to, because they probably just kill him off or whatever. But the wickedness and evilness of it all, I wouldn't be able to bite my tongue, or no matter how much money you're throwing at me, or gold or whatever these people are promised. What is it that you think they're promised? Because money is obviously money. You'd have its limitations to the ones higher up the scale. I'd imagine just get bored of money, so they offer these extra wicked ways of living, like Bohemian Grove and all that crap. No, hunting parties that Avicii talked about. Well, Avicii made a whole video, didn't he, about it? But, yeah. Maybe that's why they don't speak up, because they'd end up like Avicii. Huh? JD Vance, I don't know enough about him. Don't know enough about him. I know he's very by the looks of it, it's like Israel first, America second. You know? Hey, you Robert. Yeah, he was. I seen that video. But I also seen one. Either close to before P. Diddy got arrested or just after it, where the interviewer asked Liam Payne, we heard you went to these events. Harry Styles, the other fellow with the long hair, curly hair, Harry Styles, he was there as well. And Liam did not want to talk one bit. But second P. Diddy was mentioned, he looks down to the ground and he turns away from the interviewer who's still holding the mic up to him, you know? So it's like showed that there was something that he obviously didn't want to talk about that situation one bit. Be it his conscience or something, I don't know. Because I always talk about body language of people. And that's a big tell. Like eyes down to the left, looking away and turning the body away. I'll try to find that actually. I have to stop sharing that for a sec while I search, because God knows what'll blade and come up. See, there's so much out there about it now. And I thought it was a bit strange how they've actually released audio. They released audio of Diddy and some white. Was he white? I think he was. One of those albinos. They released audio of what you can imagine. But here's the one that you mentioned about Graham Norton. Will I get in trouble if I show a bit of Graham Norton's video? Do you reckon? What's this? Yeah. Oh yeah, I know about Mayweather yet. Him and Kevin Hart and all. They're all close. Close with Usher as well, but they're all linked, man. They're all linked. It's the one big secret, and they all play that game to keep that secret hidden. What's this? Where shall only your own stars be ex-rugby players, soccer stars touch the ball? When I think of soccer stars that were really like, when you come across a footballer who's really of the people. Well, Gary Speed, people know Gary Speed. He was one of them, and like that, he took the self-destructive way out of things because it happened to him. At the hands of, oh God, Make me scratch my brain now. Barry something, wasn't it? Barry something. Was it Teal? Barry? It wasn't Barry Teeling. What was it? It was Barry something or something. Barry, who was a scout for Manchester City, and yeah, he Story Mousy. He interfered with Gary's feet when he was younger, messed his head up. But Gary was loved by even if you didn't support the team he played for, you had a bit of admiration for Gary Speed. He just, I don't know, just something. It's the odd footballer that pops up like that. I suppose in every field you're gonna have them pop up in every field, aren't you? But you know, here I'm gonna ask the chat because I don't know, and you probably know. If I play a bit of Graham Norton, it's like a minute clip. That'll probably have to get cut out, won't it? They're all bought, yeah. But I do think some of them try to inform us, you know, like Avicii's name came up there. When it comes to like knowledge of the hunting parties that they have on certain dates, I big time think Avicii was letting us know. It's just me. No, sure. I'll try to find the other one of them then, where it's just a random guy on the street asking them an interview. They're still on the red carpet, I think, but it's no company or main broadcasting company. I can play the audio. Yeah, I can play the audio. I'm thinking. It's him, David Williams. No, David Williams. I'm a lady, don't you know? And Salma Hayek. You know, Graham Norton does get some bleeding the A-listers on. Salma Hayek, I think that's her name. So if I just I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, lads. Okay. This one.
Jay-Z was there. I had that with P. Diddy. I went over to say hello to P. Diddy, and Jay-Z was there, and Leonardo DiCaprio was sat.
All right, I think you've dropped enough names. I think people thought Prince and Brian Ferry was good. We need to hear about other people who are in the room. Let's stick on the people the story's about.
So I went over and I was trying to think who's the easy target in this scenario.
So what I found strange about that comment he made was just the names that he named was Jay-Z and Leo DiCaprio. But it just so happens that they have a video P. Diddy saying, being asked who's your number one guest whenever you have a party. And he goes, Leonardo DiCaprio. So back then, that was early 2000s he did that video. Not this one here, the one I'm talking about, P. Diddy.
The one that you go to say the hello, and I'm thinking, I saw him get him to the Greek. I'm going to go over there and say hello to him. So I thought, P. Diddy. So I went out to shake his hand, and I shook his hand, and I was, oh, nice to meet you. And he's going, with the longest handshake ever. And I'm like, sat there just looking in P. Diddy's eyes, like, when is this going to end? And then the worst of it happened. There was a whole thing with Jay-Z, and I went to lean in to speak to him. But you can't lean in to speak to Jay-Z. You're not allowed to lean in. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went flying across the room, and I was like, right, I'm just going to go and sit over here with Eddie Golden. Yeah,
man. Jay-Z's a little bit higher up than L. Diddy was. Graham Norton, Bershade, Graham Linehan. Diddy. Oh my, that didn't even mean that. Diddy, but watched him get cancelled and dragged through the mud. Shame on him. Yeah. Graham Linehan's a good man. I've not met him, but I've been a few, let women speak and stuff like that. And he does turn up. And he's probably the only man that speaks, like there are one or two, but They let him speak. They let Graham Linehan speak. For real women, I suppose, you know. I'll just go back on chat here. What are people saying? If we're talking about that Wakandan again, are we? Had the Ismail Akindi Nigerian in their squad despite the fact he received a... Yeah, that's true. Or 1014 again. They still let him play. See, they were, in a way, you would liken that to the Shinners, I suppose, with everything that's happening with the Shinners at the moment. How they try to just, you know, hide it and hope it goes away. And then this thing actually with the recent thing about them being called out on RTE. I'm sure people have seen that. Keelty, Patrick Keelty on the Late Late Show, what he said about Sinn Féin, or Sinn Féin the traitor. Oh, it's traitors. What did he call them? Did he actually call them traitors? Let me have a listen. I'll find that one for you. I'll just type his name in. Keelty. For the people who mightn't have seen this outside of Ireland. There you go. Found you. Right, check this out.
Betrayal. Everybody keeps changing their stories. Full of deception, betrayal. Everybody keeps changing their stories. Well, all we have to do is work out who's telling the truth. So that's. I think that's the.
So, sorry, yeah. So this chap had allegations brought against him. So which one is lying, the Mary Lou or this one? Do you know? I see it as it's part of the game, right? It's part of the game. And the Shinners at the moment are playing basically how bad they can humiliate them. It's like fake humiliation, but that's what it looks like. Especially to someone now out there who's been a Sinn Féin supporter, they're gonna be like, look at RTE, look at Keelty, and think, why are you only talking about Sinn Féin and you're not talking about the rest of the government? You know what I mean? And yeah, but I think he says something else. Hang on.
I think that's the first two contestants there. The Sinn Féin traders, the show we're all want to see.
See, was he being booed by the crowd for saying it, or do you think the crowd were booing Sinn Féin? And what this does, this once again, it's targeting a big group of people, Sinn Féin supporters, and just humiliating them on national television. So it's part of the game. Someone said the monk there. Yeah, Jerry the monk is running, apparently. Jerry Hutch. Yeah, I don't know how Keelty got the Late Late Show, but yeah. Sinn Féin, the Diddler Brigade. Yeah, Vaughn, the things I do see would be little snippets shared up on Twitter. You know, I did watch the propaganda hit by RTE on the lads, on the nationalists of Ireland. I watched that all right because, you know, I've said it on here before. I can watch it without being put into a zombified state and just believe everything that they're saying and showing. because they like, especially with that Barry fella, like they used. Think about that man, that Barry Barry O'Kelly, or is it just Barry Kelly? For months, I can remember but years maybe. Yeah, at least 2 years. He was just following people or turning up at events that the Irish people were going out there and gathering, and all he was doing was building up for that one hit piece. I'm sure he has a lot. I'm sure he has part 2 coming out soon. You know, when the government need a little bit more, just like the government have used RTE here with this hit on the Shinners. The politics game. Yeah, Frank, and you know, like they use it to attack the Shinners, and the first thing I thought of, well, that's no good, is it? That's just gonna give Sinn Féin supporters now a reason to stand behind Sinn Féin even harder. Even though we all know they're like open borders and pro-abortion and all that stuff, you can't help but keep abreast of it. Christian Morris, you would say. I read the Sunday Independent, so you don't have to. Yeah. I like Christian Morris. First came across him in a video he did with. He used to do bar chats on a Friday. Thomas Sheridan. That's how I heard Christian Morris. He's on other platforms, isn't he? He's on Odyssey and all. Yeah. And Rumble maybe. But he's, you know, what like about Christian is, he's no fear at all when he talks. He's no fear at all. Like he openly calls out the Rainbow Squad. You know, he calls them out for what they are. He calls out the certain politicians that seem to promote a lot of that stuff. So I like that about him. He's a gay man and he's like awake, not woke, awake. He's seen the light. He's not a time traveler at, and he's just a good common sense head on him. That's what I take from Christian Morris. What else did I have here? I showed you these ones. How's this for safety? Can you see this one that I'm on now? Yeah, you can. Okay. How's this for safety? Where's this again? England.
Engine off. Sorry? Turn your engine off. Sorry? Turn your engine off.
Several people are crammed in the back of the mid-sized motor.
Okay, sorry. Are you actually being serious? What? Are you being serious? Look at that.
Because
No. Driving license, please. That is so stupid. Do you know how dangerous that is?
The driver's smiling, but this is no laughing matter.
How many children have you got on there? Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, 8 people in a car. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna get a ticket for all 3 children. Come and have a chat with me.
Overloading your car by more than 30% can land you in court. And when Harrison takes a closer look inside, the driver's problems keep mounting up.
Oh, there's 4 children. Even worse. Okay.
No, it's 4.
4 children. Yeah. So there's 4, 5, 6.
No, yeah.
The only spare seat is in the boot.
I'm not being funny, but why are you going to put car seats on the roof of the car?
9 people are packed into a car that can legally carry 5. And 7 of them are on the back seat.
If you crash,
7.
it's a good idea. As the driver of the car, it's your responsibility to make sure that children are wearing seatbelts.
On average, 4 unbelted children die or are seriously injured in a road accident every week.
In all seriousness, if you have a crash, where do you think the children are going? Straight through into the back of seats. You're going to risk losing your license now, I'll be honest with you.
Into bucket seats.
After 5 years on the force, Harrison's pet peeves are drunk or disqualified drivers.
13, 12, 7 and 6, thank you.
But ones that put children at risk like this are also high up on the list.
I think you all really need to have a chat with yourselves and look at how you're managing the safety of your children. You know, you might be the best driver in the world, but if someone comes up to you and hits you head on.
Over the past 5 decades, seatbelts have saved 375,000 lives. But around 8% of people still don't wear them on British roads.
That stuff. Do you reckon he was allowed to drive home? A very understanding police officer. Lucky to get an understanding police officer like that lad was. Sipping in the bleeding backseat. Bit like that. Was Tara in the chat? Hey Tara, what's the story? Did your dad do the song yet? Baby, lock them door and turn them lights down low. Jamaican country. See, young American YouTuber Jack Doherty, yeah, he crashed a McLaren recently. I'm paying attention. Yeah, seen that one. Like what much of them cars? $250,000, something like that. Or more, 250,000, something like. It's nothing to him. You won't buy another one now. So you can make a lot. The lad, actually, here's one to look into for you. You know, these streamers. You know, when they have, see the way on YouTube, the way you have, when you get a tip off someone, it pops up like a super chat, right? Super chats. Well, they were started by an individual who originated on Twitch. Rogue Fighter, I think his name was, and he was a big World of Warcraft player back in the day, and he's the chap that he's a young Jewish fella, and he came up with the idea of that. You know, when they are streaming on Twitch or whatever, and this big note comes up on the screen and it reads it out to you. He came up with that idea, but I think he probably seen what that did, and you know what it caused people like your man Jack or whatever, what it's causing them to do. It was too much for him, and he even self-destructed himself. The guy who invented that, I think it was Rogue Fighter, was this or something like that. Paul O'Neill is he? What are you? I know he doesn't take anything. Yeah, I heard that about him having some young ones under him that were kind of made do OnlyFans, and that's how he's making a good majority of his money. You know nothing of his background or who he is or anything. Could do a little dive on him. Then you do you would think it's kind of more stress on the amount of stress they must go through, the streamers, because they get to a certain level. Like there's a guy, he handles it quite well. And once again, he's known for starting out by streaming World of Warcraft, which I don't know if people know. It was a big game back in the day. And when I was younger, I played it for a few years myself. Hence why I know some of these people. But that was the platform he started on. And now I've noticed videos he's doing that like he would never touch politics or anything like that. You know, never touch anything politically related. But he's mocking the fuck out of the Democrat side in the US at the moment, which is something I've never seen him do. Asmongold is his name, and he has quite a big following. Like there's a few million that follow that chap, purely for just his opinion on things. I'd say that's what the majority of people that follow him for. There's a good majority of his followers would be in the gaming community, but there would be people that would just listen to him now for his views on everything that's happening. And he's just a dude that fucking, basically lives online, makes a living online. What's that? Asmapad has just been cancelled. Was he, Sean? No, there you go. Asmongold, wasn't it? Asmongold. And I get this one here now is about how it's getting to a point where they're forcing you to choose a side and to mention it as much as possible. So it's saying Iceland, but I think the guy filming says, "But viewers are Americans," but I don't get that part at all. But have a listen.
Hello, guys. Can we ask you standing for Palestine?
No, thank you.
Can we ask you standing for a human stop killing kids in Gaza?
No, we're good.
It's a human question. It's a humanity question. Can you say free Palestine or stop the genocide?
No.
Why? Are you Zionism?
No.
Huh? Where are you from?
America.
America. Fuck America. America killing kids, you know?
All right.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why he was calling America. But I don't know why it has PNN Iceland down the bottom. What's it say? There you go.
America. Fuck America. America.
Second you say America, so fuck America. All right. But see, going up into their face and saying that say it now. I'll just go about living my life. Thanks. Oh, say it now. Forcing it. I am going to play this. It's 5 minutes. I think it's really important. The realities of being a woman alone at night in the UK, and it's only going to get worse. Are you watching Keir Starmer? This is posted by Patriots of Britain. Let's see if that pops up to that. Yeah, there you go. Let's just play. I'm going to go get a drink.
This is the reality of being a woman alone at night.
I saw you. I had to say hello. When I just saw a nice little pretty face.
It's a problem all too many women will be familiar with.
Don't want to scare you, I get it. So,
I'm meeting Neve in Nottingham at the end of her night shift.
Hey, how was work? Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
For most people, it would be a moment of relief. But for Neve, it means fear. Because just months ago, she was chased by a man as she walked home.
I had to run for about 5 minutes, which felt like a lifetime. It's just that shock and just adrenaline and instincts or whatever take over because you're just fearing for your life. It's awful. I think anyone that's been in that position can say the same.
Neve shows me how she protects herself by planning her route home. And that's because she's already been a victim of a more serious attack that happened last summer.
It was broad daylight. I was alone and a stranger attacked me when there was nobody around. There was nothing going on. He tried to rape me. And the only reason that I managed to get away is because I fought him off, which is also horribly traumatic.
But telling her parents was the hardest part.
Especially for my dad, who spent his whole career in the police, and having to tell him that after, you know, safety lessons when I was very, very young, it's just such a horrible thing that I hope no one else ever has to go through. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And then you just couldn't make it up. As we're finishing the interview, 3 men shout a personal comment.
Cameras, bro. Oh, she's laying as well, man.
These are not isolated incidents. Our research found more than 8 out of 10 young women feel unsafe walking home in the dark. Over a third fear for their safety going into a gym alone. And over 6 out of 10 feel unsafe on their own in a bar.
Oh, no, what's going on here?
I'm filming undercover alone in Cardiff, where police recently announced a decrease in violence against women. Within seconds, a group of men approached me.
I'm like a tennis teacher. I can give you 3 lessons if you want. Give me 3 lessons. Of tennis. I don't want practice. Everybody. Anyone you like.
This guy didn't respect my personal space.
I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I saw you. I had to say hello. You look nice. That's fine.
The guy in the black t-shirt sees me up ahead and speeds up to get next to me. And like many others, he overstays his welcome.
I think I'll be okay. Are you sure? I'm sure. Are you sure? Thank you so much, guys. Are you sure? Absolutely sure.
It happens time and time again. 20 people approach me in just 2 hours.
In our survey, it's clear that young women's concerns for their safety is still a huge issue. And from my experiences tonight, it's not hard to understand why.
I showed my undercover footage to new Home Office Minister Jess Phillips.
You look nice.
The new government has pledged to halve incidents of violence against women within a decade.
We absolutely need to educate men, and as you know, the new Labour government has absolutely committed to making prevention through education. The reality is that this government considers violence against women and girls to be a national emergency, and a national emergency needs systematic change.
And change is exactly what the members of a new women's only gym in South Wales want.
We had literally people queuing at the door to get in.
The women here tell me what made them switch gyms.
I've been in that situation myself, going into multi-sex gyms, just seeing them all working out. And I know as soon as you walk through the doors, they're all going to turn their heads, they're all going to have a look. And that just puts me off completely.
So I'm very self-conscious now. So walking into a gym like that and people turning and looking destroys me. So obviously, like I said, I get panic attacks from it, and I've had to leave from a panic attack from going into a gym.
Or whether it's at the gym or on a night out, as a young woman, it's always going to be a challenge when every day feels like a constant battle to keep yourself safe. Cree Horton, ITV News.
I mean, they'll just, what happens? You just stop going out. You just force society to stop going out. A couple of people might say, put what these women are wearing down to what these women are wearing, but that's just on the night out, like, relax. Doesn't mean that they're forcing these men to come over and put their arm around them and all, you know? It's just not right. The future is looking black. Right. Hey, Finn Barrow, what's the crack, man? Eunice, what's the story? Just look back there. There's not even outside. Like I said as well, people throw some questions up because you could like direct which way the conversation goes as well. You know, it doesn't matter if a nation It's an isolated island. They find a way to infiltrate. 1 foot in the door is all it takes. Happening every win in Japan. I know. I've seen that. I've seen the last video of Japan, and they're just complete lack of respect. You know, I've talked about Japan a few times. Only because there a couple of years ago got mad into like learning about that culture and everything. Don't know why. It just did out of nowhere. You know. And yeah, I want to go over for the cherry blossom. 1 year, it's on the bucket list. Well, if anyone knows anything about the police force in Japan, I mean, they're still the same as they were in. Do you remember when the lads in Jackass went over, and you were kicking up motor, and the Japanese police were real? Oh no, please don't, real politely. Well, these lads are complete. They're mocking them to their face, like they're mocking the police to their face and everything, having arguments between themselves in Japanese, and they're trying to make it comedic, and that's just the disrespect in that. Lack of respect, no respect. I don't know what it was about Japan, just out of nowhere one night, so I'm going to learn more about it. Start watching a lot of guys that were multilingual, and they had like 20 languages or whatever. There was a guy called Moses from America who had close to 50. You know, it only took him like 3 months to learn a language. It just blew my mind. And I've talked about Moses before. There was a couple of like religious sects that wanted to recruit him, because imagine he could deliver a message in so many languages, you know, and he was very well spoken of. I think that's probably what it was about the Japanese thing, because seeing this Black American converse with Japanese people, Chinese people, you name it, and then even people like Nigerians, you could communicate with anything. But seeing once he did open up, because he'd play stupid in his at the start of his videos, you know, he tried like break up the English and, you know, seem stupid, but then once it came to asking about a certain item, he was able to describe it, and, you know, how much is it, and then to see the Japanese Asian people, let's say, see their reaction to him, it was like a different sort of, felt like you were in a different world. You know, I suppose that's the best way to describe it, because they just talk back like naturally, but have the utmost respect for another human being who's nothing like them. Like he's a black guy from New York. I think he was from New York. That's what it was about. The interest in learning more about them. They should, Frank. Yeah. See you later, Luke. Thanks for joining us, man. Adama. Yeah, what else do I have here? What did you make of that? What did you make of that video that I shared about the school photographer who was demonically possessed? Did anyone watch that? What did you make of that? I think I have the original video where I got it from here. Actually, let's have a listen to this lad. Mick O'Keefe shared it, but it's Philip Dwyer. It's Philip Dwyer's video. Let me have a listen.
And the list is, how many kids do they have? The Irish have 2 kids. The foreigner has 15 or 11 kids and a couple of wives. But we're not going to win.
you have a message there for Leo Varadkar, Micheál Martin, Roger O'Gorman.
Wake up. If you can't wake up and see reality, like, I'm not right-wing or anything, I'm just an ordinary Joe Soap, a citizen. But Leo and the guys up there and all our local representatives, if you don't wake up, get out of the Dáil. Get out and let someone in there that will. I tell you one thing, come the next elections, there'll be a lot of TDs will lose their well-paid jobs and councillors because they're not doing the job. We put them in there to look after the safeguards of the Irish people. What did they do? They stabbed us in the back. They've come along here, a small community, and put 100 males. Now, I'm not saying they're all wrong. I'm not saying that. But the mind starts moving. And
The last part there, he says they're not all. There's a radio presenter in America, Jesse Peterson. I don't know if people know Jesse Peterson. His show's really based around the Christian religion. Right? It's based around that. But when he's talking about the blacks in America, he's like, they all call him an Uncle Tom. They all call Jesse Peterson an Uncle Tom because they see him as anti-black. When he's not, he just sees the whole message behind it is we're all the same, right? If you watch enough Jesse Peterson, you would know that about him. But he does, like, when he's talking about the black community in America, and he knows people are going to have a reaction to him talking about it, so he says, not all, they're all, but most of them. That's what he does say, covers both angles. Small bit for the trolls as well, I do think, more on the home front. I don't know if people remember Andy Heisman going to, I think it's Limerick, is it? I think it's Limerick. I know you had this red-haired one. I had her on video before somewhere. I don't know, it wasn't here, but it was somewhere else. But then she popped up here in Andy's video. And she was in the latest video by Ferg. If he's going, look at or I have it bookmarked actually, so I'll show you. She turns up and she says some weird stuff, right? Excuse me. Tia has me burping. So let's have a listen.
Yeah. I've been going here since you still have access to your kids.
Yeah.
Are you going?
So straight in with the personal attack on Andy. I still had access to her when you lost access to your kids. She said, "There's proper little demon this one."
Go to this university. What are you learning? What course are you doing? What are you doing? Wow. So, lads, look,
amazing. I can keep you.
You're very good. Can you tell us what your problem with us is, please, if you don't mind? She got her fist balled up. Look.
Yeah,
keep an eye on her there.
Why are you so small?
I'm looking down at you as you say that.
I'm 4'10".
Yeah. So look, I'm not the tallest man in the world. Where's the crime in that?
Why are you so small?
Because I was born this way. What
are you
sizist? Are you sizist? Are you a sizist?
A sizist.
You're just a little man. You're Tom.
Tom. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
What is that? All you have to offer? So
Aren't
you vote
you the
no.
one that?
You vote no. It's me.
Oh my God! I wish I could just take my cup off and
What
throw
did you
it
say,
across
Andy?
campus
Andy.
and have them run after it. Get off this
But you're the
campus.
dog
Get
here, though.
off
You're the dog here,
this.
not
You're
me.
goddamn right. I've got that
Yeah, I
dog in
know.
me.
Yeah, you
What
do.
have you got in you?
Not a dog in
Tiger.
anyway.
But the reason I suppose I'm seeing so much for her is because she's one way they can use to disrupt anyone that has an objection to these books in the libraries. The NGO types are using individuals like this to try to disrupt anyone, because he's there handing out leaflets and whatever on it.
Seriously, get out of here.
Hello, we're looking for a no
You came
vote.
into my. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Sorry.
Your library.
Your
library. Your
My
library.
friends.
It's your friends.
And you threatened them.
And I
If
threatened
you
them.
go in that library today,
You
I will
what?
drag you out
By
the hood
What
of
gender
your
identify
manky,
as, or what gender
stinking
anyone identifies as,
sweater.
really.
Girl. Yeah, seriously.
Look, lads,
These are dangerous
we're
people.
not violent.
These are dangerous people. I have a video on my page for the back. Go and have a look at it. But then here she is, right? 22 hours ago, by fair. I don't know what's this one from. I've never seen the video, so this is Fergus Power. There she is. See her already? Ready and waiting. I think she does with her feet. I think she does like a, you know, when a bull charges with her feet. Watch her feet.
They're in a public place, mate. Talking to you.
I'm talking to you. Take the video.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Peter Furs and Parade. In the Peter flag, yeah. Pedos. Peter Furs supporters. Oh, you Peter Furs. Look.
That one with the this one here in the green top with the mask. I've seen her a few. Yeah, there is a woman. I've seen her a few times. This one. Is she like one of the lower parties, like People Before Profit or something like that?
I don't want that. Get out of the way of the phone, you don't want it.
No. Should I?
Get. Excuse me, what'd you say? Did you say something? I'm not very tall.
Straight again with the "you're not very tall." It's like a little script she has every time she turns up.
Oh, you're about 3 foot. Get your fucking hand off me now. You hear me? You fucking dope. Fucking pedophiles on parade. Look at this. Scumbags.
And you notice as well when they come up to videotape anyone like Ferg or anything, their hands are shaking like 90 with the nerves.
Yeah, pedophiles on parade. Rumors.
Are you recording the voicing as well?
Yeah, it's a pedophile flag.
Yeah, that was. She turned up again, so she hasn't gone away. There's a big gap in between these two. February, 22 hours ago. That. Remember Fran from Love Hate with the battered. I never watched Love Hate. No shock. Never what? Yeah, never watched Love Hate. I think I watched probably one of the first ones. Not after that. Because I seen what that was. It's probably because I see what kind of effect that had, and how, like, I'm sure that thing that happened with Kieran Mulvaney. Do you remember Kieran Mulvaney, the young fella? And Mr. Lawler. I'm sure that stems from watching shit like that. I'm sure of it. Antifa, yeah. Pantifa. I call them Pantifa. Who still to this day, I bet if you ask Jerry Nadler in the US about Antifa, he'd say Antifa's just an idea. That's what they keep saying about them, but we know what they are. They're like some paid infiltration squad or something. Antifa. Yeah. Oh, here's a bank you can go to, a Sharia bank. Is this in? Yeah. Welcome to Sharia Britain. Islamic banks are in compliance with Sharia law, meaning they don't charge interest, unlike Jewish banks.
So this right here is an Islamic bank, and here's how you can use it to make halal investments in property. Islamic banks operate very differently to conventional banks because they follow Sharia law, which bans the use of interest, also known as riba. So instead of charging interest, Islamic banks offer finance options which allow Muslims to make halal investments, just like me and Jamal did for Airbnb investments in Morocco. One common method is known as Murabaha, which is where the bank will buy the property on your behalf and sells it to you at a pre-agreed higher price. This is where you avoid interest and the payment plan is clear, halal from the start. Option number 2 is Ijara, where the bank purchases your property and leases it back to you. And over time, you will be paying rent to the bank. And eventually, inshallah, the property will then be transferred to you once the payments are complete. Again, all in the halal way.
So the catch is you don't pay interest. You just make sure you pay into something that benefits it spreading even more. There you go. Broke that video down there, didn't I? Well, someone said something there. Hang on. Love Hate was art mimicking real life. A lot of the storylines are actually real life gangster stories with character names changed. Yeah. But I do. I think it is like here's a story actually about, because you've heard of that Kieran Mulvaney one, I take it, and Mr. Robert Lawler. When I was younger, 'cause that's, you have to remember, that's only at the back of me where I am. But Mr. Lawler, when we were younger, picked a fight with one of my mates when we were like, I think we were around 12 or 13 or something. He always had a. You felt like you couldn't trust him when you were around him, because you're in the same school and all for a period of time. So, yeah, imagine the shock when you find out that he's meant to be the worst gangster that Ireland has known. You know, a bit close to home, a bit strange. I mean, they played and chopped the envelope and all. It was a very dark time around that, when all that was happening. Well, that one on screen there is a guy in Germany's having a coffee and he's getting harassed by a disabled black man in German. This is just weird to me that, like, you know, how in your face it is. Now, Russia.
Let me make certain that I'm talking to all my AT aliens out here. We ready? What?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sorry, that's Cian Mulready Woods. That's the one. Only a young lad who I think he put it up to Mr. Lawler outside a gym or something like that, which then led to what happened to him. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm jumping around a lot, but I'm trying to get through a good few of my bookmarks. It's just weird for me to see, you know, knowing everything we know about what happened with the individual, and he's out here. Like I said, I think they're told, right, get up there and do your bit.
Oh, yes. Well, y'all want to keep going? You know, normally I'm up here to entertain, but today was something far, far more significant for Atlanta and all of Georgia. You know, it's really great to be home. I'm here, home for my past, present, future tour, but took a quick break from that to come here, share a few words with you about the significance of this moment. I feel that this is a momentous opportunity for each and every one of us. You know, it's just 17 days away from a very important election, as we all know.
Wow, he's only 17 days off his election over there. Good luck. Good luck. Someone said earlier about Jerry the Hutch. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going into that. But there you go. Jerry the Monk Hutch considering running in the general election in Dublin Central. Someone was quick to that earlier. I knew I had that bookmark somewhere. Sorry if the screen's giving you hurting your eyes a bit. Back to Hamas Harris again. As a little reminder of how powerful and strong he is. Michael Regan's incredible TD. I just cop that push. It's the guard that pushes him. What's the guard? It's the guard that pushes him. I think something happened here where the tension built up so much, and his little weasel reaction, and the guard's like, shut up, start behaving, you know, or even don't say anything at all. But don't be like, it's an incredible TD. You know what I mean? And what do they say when evil is around? Say Jesus Christ.
Sorry, go on.
The panic in you can feel the panic off on them, can't you? They're scurrying like rats. Yeah, and that's the one thing they will not openly talk about or discuss in public is anything LGBT related. That's what they're really like running away from. That's what they're really scurrying away from and don't want to talk about. Yeah, or 14. Yeah, he's a year younger. What? So that make him 38. Ronaldo's 39, isn't he? He's only 38. Scurrying by the Gurriers. And now Cockrell, like, so afraid of that family, aren't they? You know, they'd rather just run away than just face them. He's 38. Damn. Hasn't been fair to him. Elon Musk earlier on shared that. People think this Doge designer, that's Elon as well himself. Some people think that. It's been said before, but he shared this CNN's logo with the C flipped, and it means Disinformation News Network. It's a strong bit of propaganda when I see it. And that's one there. There's their very own symbol against it. I showed you most of these. Let's stop sharing. If anyone has any questions they would like to ask, put them in the comment section, please. What happened here? Would be able to tell you. I'll get up out of that tank. That's the killer question, isn't it? I suppose reproduce. You know, just a straightforward answer is reproduce. I would like to think that it's to go on and to do greater things. And I know earlier the conversation came around about in Noel's chat came around about the moon landing and all this stuff. You know, I did ask in the chat like how they get past the firmament, but I'd imagine like expanding somehow, or either way, if you can go out there, or if the other way is if it's true about the outer circles, and they have other, you know, they have these. You ever imagine Atlantis in your head, the image of a bird's eye view of Atlantis, or if it's laid out like that, and there's different layers. And then God knows what after that. What's that one? False allegations from alligators. What's that? Why are crocodiles? Crocodiles are so angry because they've been around for millions of years and they just want to live amongst their own. Because you see them, they're quite content when they're all huddled together in a pillow. Which video is that, Finbar? Two grannies in a church. What? A Catholic Christian church or something, was it? Over here? I know, in France. Yeah, no, but France church. There's a lot of them burning down, isn't there? Oh, look at the second I open it up on the bleeding 2nd of September. Look. The first fucking thing I see. Sick of seeing churches on fire, man. Okay. I probably covered it. Which one is it? Another Catholic church destroyed by fire in France. The Immaculate Conception Church in Saint Omer in France has been partially destroyed by a fire. Info credited France Blue North. See so many of them. That was 2023. The go latest. If you have a title of the video, Finbar, I'll find out quicker. They always fascinate me, the old engravings in the churches. Hippos are, yeah, Frank, yeah, hippos are very dangerous. They kill, and they're one of the top killers of humans in Africa. They're hippos. Very territorial. Rumpel's foreskin. Hippos may be territorial and dangerous, but they are pushed in front of my kids for social housing. Thank you. What video did he cover, Robert, in July? I can't find that one of the grannies. Apparently there's a video going around of two grannies having a scumbag. You know what that translates into in a church in France. you know, bookies. I'll just go through it in the background because it'll make you sick bleeding. Screen moving. Here's one here from Desexing Society podcast, right? Is the post. Who's your? I'll just get your woman's name first. Miss Abigail Boyd, temporary chair of committees. So yeah, have a listen to this. It's Rainbow Squad related. Yeah, Mousy, I'd love to go to Japan. I'd love it. I would. Konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu. So yeah, have a listen to this one.
The idea that someone is naturally at danger in a toilet. Let's just think about that first. When I go into a bathroom, whether it be a unisex bathroom or a male or female or all gender, whatever it happens to be, I don't expect that when I'm in the cubicle, I'm at a particular danger from anybody around me. I don't understand what the idea is that if there's somebody in there that when they are going to the toilet that I don't know that they're somehow not or what other people I don't know, they're doing it in a cubicle. I don't know what the idea is, that somehow that is an inherent danger to women in the cubicle next door. I don't understand what that's about. But if what people are actually saying is that men are inherently a danger in an enclosed space with women, that is a different issue, because if a man is gaining access to a bathroom to presumably attack a woman or do something terrible to a woman, that's a man wanting to do that. If, however, it's somebody who identifies as a woman and is a trans woman and is a woman going into a bathroom, they're going in there because they're a trans woman. So I don't understand why is the argument that a trans woman is somehow going to I don't know. I'm really struggling to understand.
No, you're not struggling. You just don't want to. She just doesn't want to say it. That it's like some fucking weird fetish, man. That's all. She just doesn't want to say that, and I'll jump around everything trying to avoid answering it. Some people just aren't into joining in with their fetish, and they'll keep pushing it. Someone said there that Ninja Knight did a piece on that. But did he do it on Twitter or did he do it on his community posts are just him talking about how bad YouTube are censoring them. See? I'm sure I'm like I said this before, but I'm sure they're doing that with mine because it does go up, but it goes back down to what it previously was, like 6.18. It's went up to 6.19, but since then it's gone back down to 6.18, and it just keeps floating in between the two. So Japan's being targeted, but for now their hotels are full of scammers. Poor Japan. Yeah, Sean, it was showing you basically how easy it was for them to transform or at least look like a woman so they can enter it. Like that was a bloke. History debunked. I don't think I've checked that one out. But yeah, the point of that there was bleeding. The Desexting Society podcast. Yeah, and the refusal for them to just, she can't see why it's a bad idea that trans men can go into female bathrooms. A trans female, would that be? Whatever. No, it's a bloke. There's that many now in France that the whole gatherings seem to be by the new arrivals themselves, like this. So yeah, the whole bleeding march full of them. Undocumented immigrants protest in Paris. We won't go. We are here, they say. Like, and wherever they turn up, they're so destructive, you know. The subway here. Look, the door's open there. Just walk off me. Just walk off. Violence. That's all they do. Violence. Oh, there's the Jerry thing. Yeah, Jerry thing that we were going through. Dayar Amin, who was convicted of racially aggravated assault, has now been promoted to steward at Leeds PSC.
Yeah, the steward, racially aggravated assault on a counter-protester, and he's here stewarding.
Mad. So they've went from being the security of the places that they're housing them in, like the hotels and all. Now they're doing security for these Palestinian marches. Not mad. Really mad stuff going on. I'd love to follow the money trail somehow. If it's some way we can follow the money trail. I know people looked into the companies, the security companies that were hiring them. Wasn't one like Serco and stuff like that? Oh, Jerry the Monk Hutch considering running in general election in Dublin Central. I don't know why sometimes Twitter does this. Fucking web betrayal. Oh, she's wrote a book. There you go. Go away with your not paying blatant money just to read up on him. He always see Jerry Hutch plans to run in general election as he eyes seat in Mary Lew's patch. It says. I think someone had a poll up earlier. I wonder what it's at. I haven't checked it in a bit. Yeah, I've seen a few, Jerry, playing in the old GA. I've seen it. A few of them. They used to be used to keep those people in circuses and stuff like that, you know. But now it's just like trying to blend it into society. Right. No, I'm cutting out a bit quick, but I'll have to go and get some food ready for the babs and all. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining me. And like I said, you keep them, because when I do go live like this, you keep them questions coming in on the right, and you know it might, if it's something that I have a bit of knowledge on and I've looked in enough, it will lead the conversation, you know. So yeah, thanks all for joining me, and like and subscribe. I guess someone told me get saying that, so you get a few more in. Peace and love all. And remember, not far right, just right so far. I'll have to get a little instrumental out for that saying.